All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, I'll name this segment later, GTG Spits That Grease, so on and so forth, title forever in the works. And let's see here, what's on the agenda? Boy, I got so many videos I need to go over. Okay, all right, so what's on the agenda is going to be, we're going to talk a little bit about the Turkey Tom documentary that was dropped and whatnot. Big ups to the people who let me know about that. Haven't had a chance to watch all of it yet. It's actually a little bit shorter than I thought it would be, but you know, it is what it is. And you know, Turkey Tom almost had his gobbler basically permanently locked out if it wasn't for that situation. So I get it. He's kind of timid jumping back into the situation, but it is what it is. But we actually have a sponsor and whatnot. It's always cool. We got a sponsor. So big ups to Lelouch going with roasted roasted cutlet. Roasted cutlet cat style. Big ups to you, man. I appreciate that. Big ups. And we're going to be speaking on basically DSP's cope session coming off of this documentary or whatnot. And there's a couple things that I want to point out to you in particular because I think they're important given what the circumstances are. DSP is talking about short-term gains that he has, or that he's achieved, I should say. But he's not talking about the long term. And also, I have thought about this a little bit, and when I haven't had a chance to actually speak to anybody about it, so I'll just speak to you guys, because why not? But I'm thinking, or I've been thinking about this for a little bit, that when it comes to DSP's lying, he very much, you know, we all go over the whole situation of an answer is an answer. It doesn't matter if it's the truth or not. An answer's still an answer. Right? That's DSP's way of going about that. Well, what if I was able to cut that a little further, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and hit it with that cat style. What if I was able to cut in a little deeper and I formulated this kind of thesis that DSP will say whatever he has to say as just whatever form of defense, right? So look at it this way. It's like if DSP, if someone challenges DSP to a fight in the ring, in the octagon, whatever, and DSP knows he can't win, but he'll show up anyway. He'll show up and take the beating because if he don't, he doesn't like the optics that's going to have. He doesn't like how that's going to make his ego feel. So he just has to say something. He has to blurt it out, knowing damn well it's a lie, knowing damn well no one will believe it, but as long as he says something, he feels like he's fought back. He feels like he's put up some type of defense. I don't know if that'll actually make sense because of the way I'm articulating it, but that's how I'm starting to, that's one of the ways I should say in 2026, I want to start viewing it. He's just saying shit just to say it. Just because if he don't, he's fearful of what it's gonna come out. He can't tell the truth because that's just not in his DNA. Lying is so much easier, but even he realizes that some of these lies are just not feasible. No one's gonna take him seriously, but he has to because at least it's a defense in some way. At least he said something. At least he did something. You know what I mean? Despite how bad it's going to be, despite how no one's going to take him seriously. And that's kind of wild from a psychopathy standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to jump through all kinds of hoops, go through all this mental gymnastics to lie when you could just tell the truth. Just be honest with yourself for once. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else who you're begging for money and shit and that you have all this you depend on for moral support and otherwise. Just be honest. Just be honest. But he would rather lie and just be labeled as a liar and a piece of shit and everything like that. But as long as he said something, as long as he gave an answer, that's all that should really matter. And that's sick. That's like, you know, all jokes aside, that's actually sick. That's actually mental fucking illness. You know what I mean? In the worst possible way, I think, in some ways. But that's neither here nor there. But that's just my thoughts. Okay, so let's talk about the scenario. It hasn't been very good for DSP. You know, the Turkey Tom documentary apparently comes out. Mike Watson, big ups to Mike Watson. Mike Watson gets inducted into the Evo/FGC Hall of Fame, big ups and whatnot. Big ups to Jaha, who also retweeted it, and he was basically big up in his boy on that, bigging up his mans on that shit. So I respect that. Big ups. Yet another slight against Darkside Phil. You know what I'm saying? His birthday is literally right around the corner at the time that I'm recording this. So in like 6 or 7 days. And the FGC is starting to really put an emphasis on its alumni or on its own. And DSP is not going to be there. But I'm going to save that. I'm going to give you guys my opinion on all that when we get there. It hasn't been a very good few days for DSP. It really hasn't. This shit's hitting hard as hell. And so with the Turkey Tom vid coming out, the fact that DSP was like, oh, you're doing this because you're a misery broker, you don't want to acknowledge my successes, that and third. It sounds like DSP goes off and says just about everything, but hey, why don't you interview me? Why don't you actually have a conversation with me? It sounds like DSP don't want none of that smoke, because Turkey Tom will beast the shit out of him. Turkey Tom's a lot of things, for sure. But he can definitely whip DSP in a fucking conversation / debate / interview. He'll set all kinds of traps up for DSP, which, yet again, going back to my previous point, where DSP is just going to have to lie to him, and even Tom's going to be able to see past that garbage. So anyway, the way DSP has chosen to respond to all this about, I'm good, you guys don't know what you're talking about, you guys don't really understand what my situation is, you're just going with the active narrative because it's easy, and so on and so forth. Everything that he has said was front facing. Look at all of my gadgets and gizmos and all my peripherals and all this bullshit. Look at how well I'm doing and whatnot. I am presenting you with all of the trappings of success. So there's no way that I could be this loser that everybody says I am, because I have all the trappings of success. And you guys are just jealous of me, and so you won't acknowledge that. But what about behind the scenes, DSP? What about behind the scenes, Phil? What about behind the scenes, Dark Side Phil? Dark Geppetto? You got your life insurance in order? You got Cat's life insurance in order? If you get sick and you can't talk for a week, you know what I'm saying? Something wrong with your throat, something wrong with your teeth, or whatever, and you can't stream for a week, you're going to be all right, or you're going to come back begging hard. If Cat gets into a car accident, God forbid, if Cat gets into a car accident and she's out of commission for a month, I can't expect you to stream every goddamn day while she's in the hospital. I know you'll try to, but you're not going to do that because people are going to shit on you for that. And you can only say, my job, for so long. So how many days can you afford to miss on that? Let's go even further. Let's go ahead and get real personal. What about taking fucking Cat out on a honeymoon? Can you afford to miss 3 or 4 days? A week? 2? You say you're doing so well. You're saying that you're straight. You're doing great. Your streams are incredibly profitable. But then you're crying and complaining that the Kick Chat haven't given you any large contributions in the last few days. So you can't be doing that well. Can't take Cat on a honeymoon. You can't even give her a staycation, let alone an actual honeymoon. So how well are we really doing? See, that's the thing. He can go ahead and try to boast about all this public-facing shit and try to go ahead and go off that. But the reality is that he really isn't in a good spot. You don't have no money in savings. He doesn't have an emergency fund. He could barely figure out what a rainy day fund was. He doesn't have anything at all. And then, as it pertains to his 2 high-end PCs and all his peripherals and his new setup, this, that, and third, why isn't the content any better? Why is it that you can't break, 20,000 views? Why can't you even break 10,000 views at times, given the size of your channel? Why is it that the stream numbers are dipping? Why is it that Kick has damn near starved you out, and it's only the people who show up that help that weekly paycheck, and that's it? You're not getting a lot of memberships, barely any kicks, and YouTube's starting to flounder a little bit too. Hence the reason why you ask, I have to go back to Twitch. So now what? What's the move then? What's the play then? So anyway, I prefacing all this. We're going ahead and pre-gaming a lot of this because I want you guys to think about that as we step into our scenario here. We're going to go on a field trip because we all love field trips. We all love field trips. And we're going to go to one of my favorites and whatnot, SnortBucks, because I know they have it and whatnot. And we're going to check out this situation over here. And I'm going to bring you guys in, give you guys a better idea of what I'm speaking on and whatnot, because I think that's fair. So give me just a second to load all this up, and then we can get right to it. With that being said, also, we need to change scenes. There we go. SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Buy 7, get 1 free. Don't forget that. And let's go ahead and get this all squared away. And actually, we're actually right here. But here, give me just a second. All right, and we are back. Okay, sorry about that. Another side mission, you know how I do. You know how I do. Let's go ahead and bring y'all in here real fast. Okay, so here we go. Here we're SnortBucks. Big ups. And here's actually the documentary in question here. The never-ending downfall of dark side film. Like I said, I'm really surprised how short it is, given that it's been like 3 years. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure it's been like 3 years since DSP has since Turkey Tom has done anything about DSP. Anywho, that doesn't really matter at this point. So we're here with SnortBucks, like I said, big ups. DSP, everything's better. Everything is better than ever. And then the whole crash out over the new documentary. Wow, holy shit. Fucking psychotic as fuck. Anywho, let's see what we got here. All right. No, we're gonna keep the intro. The intro's a classic, and I think everything is pretty much where I need it to be, so we should be good. All right, cool. All right, let's not hold off any longer. Let's get into this DSP's response to this nonsense, and we'll see what we get. Here we go.
This is how to play the game.
I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Indeed.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
They said, for your work ethic. Ray Sean, thank you. An incredibly generous $100 super chat out of nowhere.
Ray Sean? So that sounds like a new name. Well, I'll leave it up to other people. I'm sure they're going to find out who he is. But that's definitely a new name. I don't recognize that name at all.
Is it a whale? It is a whale.
This is a
It has
socket
those
count or
whale-like teeth that filter things. It looks like cones. He's got a big old eyeball.
I don't know, I get this weird feeling that I'm on an eternal downfall right now. Things are just going so poorly for me right now. I can't cope or deal with it. Things are horrible. I just can't, how could I handle it? I'm just on such a downward slope. My trajectory is so downward right now.
Now, keep in mind, this is coming from somebody who defends pedophiles, right? So, and he justified doing that because he didn't want to give his detractors, trolls, haters, and critics a win. If you're willing to lie about something as serious as that, you'll lie about anything. You will legitimately lie about anything. You'll do whatever you can to stay phased. Keep that in mind.
I've got nowhere to go but down. My God.
Oh my God, he's drinking gin. Yes.
Mmm.
I'm still waiting for the downfall to happen.
Black into his face for some reason. I can understand when Jenna was doing that shit, but God, Phil.
I'm still, really, I'm waiting. When is it going to happen? Because everyone keeps saying it. Everyone, the downfall. That's great. Well, let's see. Today I got great attendance, great support. We had a great podcast.
See what I'm talking about? Everything's in the short term with him. Everything's in the short term with him because that's all he got. That's all he has. He literally lives snort for snort or minute by minute. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He never has any real plan for the long term.
Play a fun game. Tonight we're going to play RimWorld. That's going to be a great stream. After, we end the podcast, I'm going to go spend some time with my wife.
What was that hezzy for? What was that hezzy for?
Attendance, great support. We had a great podcast. We're going to play a fun game. Tonight we're going to play RimWorld. That's going to be a great stream. After, we end the podcast, I'm going to go spend some time with my wife.
Sounds like a lie to me. Sounds like a lie to me. Why'd you hesitate? What's wrong? Wow, that's a great screenshot. But why the hell did you hesitate about that, Phil? That's your loving wife. Remember the one that you want to spend more time with? Remember how angry you used to be, Phil, before she came into your life? Why are you hesitating? Boy.
Support. We had a great podcast. We're going to play a fun game. Tonight we're going to play RimWorld. That's going to be a great stream. After, we end the podcast, I'm going to go spend some time with my wife.
My wife just left me. I need something to kill the pain. Give me 4 beers, cold ones.
I'm going to have a good cup of coffee, see my kitty.
What the hell's 4 beers going to do, man? At least go for a 6-pack. Shit.
Ow! Jasper. Jasper, what are you doing? You scratched me, man.
Hey, man, got to utilize great screenshot. But you have to utilize what you have left, and he only has 2 back claws for now, anyway. So gotta take advantage of it when you can. Like I said, that pork grinds isn't gonna peel itself.
Jasper, come on.
We're gonna come back on stream, chill, Like, my life is great. So when is
Look how greasy his forehead is. Damn, Phil. That early and you already greasy. Greasy as shit.
the downfall coming exactly? I'm still waiting. Like,
You can see the glistening on his forehead? That's gross. That's gross.
everyone says that word, but I'm still awaiting it. I'm, looking all around me. It's weird because I still live in the really nice house in the private neighborhood. I have the best studio setup I've ever had. It's insanely professional, high-end equipment I'm surrounded by. I get to play whatever games I want for a living.
And what is that actually doing for the content? What is all those wrist rests actually contributing to the content? Nothing. So yes, I'm glad that you're able to fill your space and do everything and anything and everything to make yourself seem more important. But how does it actually benefit the content? And see, he can't answer that question. He can go ahead and self-grandize or have his self-grandeur about making himself feel better. But he's not doing anything entertaining. And it's not doing anything to improve anything. To be honest. Womp womp.
I have a great audience who support me. I'm waiting. Like,
Which is getting smaller and smaller by the day.
when is this downfall occurring? Because everyone uses the word to basically get people to watch garbage, but there's never happens.
Oh yeah, great. That's actually a great point on SnortBucks' part. Then imagine how much dick he had to suck. You literally were fucking holding on for your dear life. He was holding on to fucking Kino Casino's nuts for 8 months, begging and pleading with them to help him with the to get him into the program, or well, he was bitching to them why he wasn't being put into the kick program yet. Basically asking them in a roundabout way to, hey, can you push me along, or can you, use your connections to push me along? They're the ones who got him into multi-streaming. They were the ones who went ahead and helped him with the Review Tech USA thing because he wasn't man enough to do it on his own, which is crazy because Review Tech literally ain't shit. So I don't know how you needed help for that bullshit. You're the one that, DSP was the one that was sitting in them fucking Discord DMs and shit, talking about, oh, my wife is sick and she might have cancer. Oh, I got all these dead corpses of all these dead pets around me. Oh, please don't snake me. Please treat me nice. Please treat me well. Please be my friend. That was you who did all that bullshit. And then you want to turn around later and say, oh, it's all part of my plan. It was all part of the great snakening. You a dick. You had to fucking depend on other men to carry you through. And once the Kino Casino stimulus package ended, sorry, you ran to fucking, not Moist Critical, to Asmongold and tried to do the same thing. But he's like, no, I'm good. I've graped you for enough fucking content. No, you're good. I don't need you that close to me. And the smell is bothering me. Make of that what you will. But you're doing so great though, right? Don't worry, I got more.
Still waiting. End the podcast with positivity, shall we? But let's think about the last couple of years for me. Okay? What has happened to me in the last couple of years? All right? Let's see. I lost a ton of weight. I've actually become healthy and muscular.
Okay. You've lost a ton of weight. You've become healthy and muscular. Hell no. And none of that means anything if your supposed significant other was the one who picked all that weight up. Yet again, short-term thinking, ladies and gentlemen. Short-term.
Of years. All right? Let's see. I lost a ton of weight. I've actually become healthy and muscular.
His arms look bigger there, actually.
I cleaned up my lifestyle outside of the work. Okay, I really did. My lifestyle has become much better.
He's talking about the addictions, I'm guessing, which is weird because I thought he said, or he's claiming that he's not watched this documentary at all. I don't know. He seems pretty well informed for someone who hadn't watched it.
Relationship with my wife is great. My life,
except for all the weight that she put on, and she might be dying of cancer. And okay.
Outside of this,
now that I think about it, Phil, yet again, I said if she got into a car accident or whatever, how are you gonna be able to take all that time off to help her while she's in the hospital? But let's go even worse. What happens if she does have cancer, Phil? How are you gonna cover treatments? How are you gonna cover chemo? How are you gonna be able to cover how are you gonna handle the recovery process? She's gonna need you there. How are you gonna handle all that? But you're doing so well though. You got the money. Are you sitting on the money to do that? Because I don't think Dave and Linda are. I don't think they're sitting on that money. I don't think Melissa has that. I don't know what uncle that you have that's wealthy that your mother had to basically borrow money from to help your ass out. I don't know if they have that either. So what are you going to do when that happens, Phil? If that happens. If you weren't lying to PPP, or Triple P as I like to call him. Something to think about. But he's doing so well, though.
Streams is absolutely great. Okay, now let's talk about everything on the stream.
Despite all the goals that you guys have missed and all the bitching and complaining during the Street Fighter stream that people should really contribute, so on and so forth, but everything's great though, right? All right. Crying about views and are low and attendance are low, even though the game is viral, even though a particular game is virally popular. It has 600,000+ people who are playing it on Steam, but yet you're not getting any of the residuals coming to your stream or watching the videos after the fact. But we're doing all right though. We're doing great. Okay. Just asking for a friend.
Okay, my studio fully upgraded, 2 high-end gaming PCs.
What does that matter when you're still using a fucking wall fan, and even that's not working anymore, or it's not working well enough? So what does that mean? Great, you got a bunch of very energy sucking fucking peripherals there, but you can't even cool your room down. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who may have forgot, he also installed a bunch of ceiling fans in the house too. He has one in that room. We never really hear about that. So unless he's going through menopause or some shit, you've got a ceiling fan that's literally right above you. You've got the in-window fan that you had to install early. You somehow fucked that up, and it's still not cooling down the room well enough. So all of those peripherals mean jack shit of jack shit then, huh? Just saying. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
2 high-end monitors, professional studio quality audio, right? Oh, by the way, I just realized we didn't have any music playing this whole time because I was reacting.
Yeah, because you're so damn professional, right? Okay. Like I said, the equipment doesn't mean anything if the, or the tools don't mean anything if the carpenter is fucking inept as shit. But, you know, that's just what I heard. That's what I heard.
I guess I'll play a little bit for the end. Sorry about that. Support, better than it has ever been.
Hope is real, son.
To the point where now I have flexibility to literally play and do whatever I want on any given stream. I now have an...
Even though we still wage quit games because we have to play games that people want to watch and want to support. Huh? What? But you have more freedom than you've ever had. What? Even though I kind of feel like he quit less games. He still wage quitted games, don't get me wrong. And rage quitted them. But I feel like he did less of that when we had goals compared to us not having goals. But then again, that's a very small sample size, and it's not really accurate nor fair to the actual situation.
Audience for podcasting, an audience for chill vibe content, an audience for rage bait content.
That's weird because you say that you can have between like 200 and 300 people on the podcast, womp womp, or the fucking morning show, whatever the fuck he calls that, which is eventually going to be as long as the podcast, so no one cares to give a shit about that. But then once that ends, he sits there and gets into his bitch fit about how I know a bunch of you guys are going to just pick up and leave, you know, after the bottom bitch podcast or the morning fucking snorts are gone. You know, I wish you guys would stick around, but you know, I get it. Maybe you'll come back for something else. Does that sound like actual support? When you're literally guilt tripping people to stay and watch the fucking gaming shit, knowing that they're not interested in it, makes you think.
Literally, I have an audience for so much different kinds of stuff that as I get older, I don't have to be pigeonholed into doing one kind of content. I can branch out and do multiple kinds, right?
He wasn't boxed in before. He was just too lazy to do it.
Exactly. Okay. So, here's the truth. I have been doing better and better and better.
Oh boy.
Now what's happened is reality isn't in line with the fallacy of what people say about me on the internet. Because on the internet, everyone wants to believe that I'm doing bad so they can feel better about themselves. So
You're the one who has to, quote unquote, work 6 days a week full time begging. I don't see too many of your contemporaries do that. I don't see too many of your contemporaries having to give hourly updates about, hey guys, we haven't got any contributions in the last hour. Really appreciate if somebody would go ahead and do that, man. Still got 3 hours left in this game. Really be great if some support could come through. I don't hear a whole lot of people do that. That's just me though. I've never heard a detractor say that. So, you know, that's just me. It's not a thing. Not that I've heard of anyway.
Literally fabricate tons of negative shit that isn't true. That my relationship with my wife is falling apart. That secretly I
mean, given how big she is, given the last time you saw her, and given what you told PPP, I mean, it definitely doesn't sound healthy. That's for sure. And I don't know if you can afford to have 2 people in that house to be taking Ozempic or whatever other GOP one that's available on the market, unless you're giving her the generic shit. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying.
broke all of this. I want you to think about this. If I was secretly broke, why would I have abolished the goals on stream? Why would I have made it that we don't even have a monetary amount that we're trying to hit each stream? That we stopped doing celebrations. We stopped doing putting on vests and hats. We stopped doing DSP tries it as a reward. Instead, I just do stuff for fun.
That's literally not true. You've literally said that because views weren't good for, I'm sorry, being that views weren't good on the VODs for certain DSP tries, you were going to have to go ahead and abandon them for like a week or so. That's kind of your first thing. Second thing, as it pertains to goals or abolishing goals or whatever, you were tired of people like myself fucking laughing at your clown ass when you weren't hitting them. So the begging is still there. It's just done in a very different way. That's all. It hasn't changed anything. As it pertains to the goals were shit anyway. And truth be told, you were double tapping those dents anyway, because you were basically making them pay just to hit the goals, and then you were charging them once the goals were being executed. And that was stupid on your part. You know what I'm saying? You did yourself a disservice by doing that bullshit. Fuck all for fuck all on that. Ain't got shit to do with me. I mean, truth be told, you fucked up when you started combining everything together. When you combined all the Kick contributions, the YouTube contributions, and the PayPal shit, that's when you really screwed yourself over. Theoretically, you have to be getting less than what you were before you implemented that particular process. And I think somewhere down the line, you realize that. You haven't thought about it because you're stupid. But for everybody else, that's also a pretty good reason why that's going on. And then, as SnortBucks saying, who knows who you're talking to behind the scenes and what kind of behind the scenes support that's coming through? Who could say? All of that shit's an option. Haven't seen Planet Jeff's dead wife's insurance money in a while. Just saying.
We just chill, right? Why would I have taken that away if I was desperately in a bad way? It doesn't jive logically.
Actually, it do, because you'll put your ego before money. And the way that you were willing to get on your hands and knees for fucking Moist Critical, when he said that you begged too much, the way you were able to get on, you were able to get on your hands and knees for fucking when Asmongold came and knocking and whatnot, and you went ahead and presented yourself and shit. I mean, it kind of makes sense, actually. It makes a lot of sense. You care so goddamn much about how these people view you, even though your reputation, for good or bad, mainly bad, has already preceded you, that you'll sit there and change on a dime just to make it seem like you're in line with what their frame of thought is or their frame of mind. Those Moist Critical and fucking Asmongold are rich. They're multimillionaires. They don't have to worry about money. You do. So you trying to fucking, you trying to appease them doesn't bother them at all. They don't have to worry about putting food on their table. You do. You have to beg the next dent so you can have Din Din on the table or DoorDash to you by 7 o'clock. Well, 4 o'clock on your 4 o'clock on your side. That shit don't help nobody else. You're literally trying to appeal to millionaires, or at least people who understand how to fucking utilize their money. Certainly how to save it. They're not worried about you. You're just another loser on the internet. You're just another egregious piece of shit. You're just another piece of lint that just happens to be annoying, but people can seem to manipulate you so they get a free laugh out of it. That's all you are. You're nothing to them. You're absolutely nothing. You're barely a person. Maybe one day that'll come, maybe one day you'll come to terms with that.
Their narrative does not actually hold up any kind of weight when you compare it with facts.
It's kind of funny hearing one person at the bottom of the Grand Canyon saying that, and then what, a couple 100,000 people that are actually staring down at you and that actually believe it. It seems like a fruitless endeavor, but yet again, he feels that he has to say something, even though if it's a lie, even though he knows it's not true and it's never going to go over, he has to say something. He has to defend himself in some way, which all he's going to do is continue to dig himself further and further, and everybody else is going to profit but him. And you can go ahead and speak to the few wheelchairs that are fucking squeaking around you and shit, and they'll eat that shit up. And funny enough, and ironically enough, given the June the King documentary, even amongst their ranks, rank and files, if you will, but even amongst their ranks, they feel bad for you. They know what you're saying is a lie. They just don't want to abandon you. They're more loyal to you than you are to your own wife, to your own family. Remember, we can't give Jasper a blood test to save his fucking life. That's crazy. That's crazy.
But their narrative must proceed. Their narrative must be pushed. Why? Because if everything that I tell you is true about how good I'm doing, then their entire shtick all these years was wrong.
Wait. So, wait. So because PK with the shit. So because no, let's actually hear him out, and then we'll come back to it. Oh my God, I'm mad that you almost got that phantom snort past me. Almost.
Their narrative must be pushed. Why? Because if everything that I tell you is true about how good I'm doing, then their entire shtick all these years was wrong.
This mental midget monkey is going to sit here and say, hey, I'm doing great right now. I'm doing fantastic. So if that's the case, then everything that was said about me previously over the years has to be a lie. Because look at how good I'm doing right now. So how do you justify all of your begging, all of the marathons, all the fundraisers, all the I can't afford groceries, I don't want to lose my house, I got to pay my taxes, do I need to keep going? So how do you justify all of that? How do you justify all of that? How do you fucking snort all of that away? Angry snort, by the way. How do you angry snort all that away just because you, in air quotes, apparently seem to be doing okay right now? You out your motherfucking mind. Oh, that's brave. That's ignorant as shit, but that's brave. I guess, hey, you can only, you only miss the shots that you don't take, I guess. Fucking A.
Their narrative must be pushed. Why? Because if everything that I tell you is true about how good I'm doing, then their entire shtick all these years was wrong. The whole fallacy of everything Phil does is wrong and all the eternal downfall. What are you talking about?
The view numbers, the tip trackers, the dents who have fallen out of ranks, the views on your YouTube channel prove all this. The fuck? The bankruptcy, the foreclosure, the bank leaks from the Bank of America bank leaks. Huh? I need to put this shit in subtitles or something. Snorpin already beat me to it. I need to put this in subtitles or something. Holy shit, bruh.
What downfall?
Jesus
I am literally going
Christ.
up like this right now. All right? My content is recovering. Whenever I cover a new hot game and I have a...
Wait! My content is recovering, which means that you were in a bad place. You were doing things wrong. That's why people weren't watching and leaving the channel in droves. If nothing was wrong, then how are you in recovery? Oh man, this is ignorance on a whole nother level. Good shit. Good shit.
about how good I'm doing, then their entire shtick all these years was wrong. The whole fallacy of everything Phil does is wrong and all he's the eternal downfall. What are you talking about? What downfall? I am literally going up like this right now. All right. My content is recovering. Whenever I cover a new hot game and I have a review or something to talk about it, I get good attention, engagement, and support on it. I get people who come by and really appreciate the fact that I'm still honest about stuff all these years later.
You mean Resident Evil 9, which was the only game that he actually got any of that? The fuck? All right.
And I am not beholden to any sponsors. I am not beholden to any companies or any streaming service or anything. I can say and do whatever I want.
That's literally not true. The reason why you're not beholden to any sponsorships or endorsements because you don't have any. The reason why and how you're and you're definitely beholden to YouTube, to Kick, because if they demonetize you or kick you off, you're fucked. Now you have to go to whatever the next platform that will deal with your ass. Are you retarded? The fuck you talking about? Your whole livelihood is literally in the hands of someone that you'll never really see. What do you mean? You just got demonetized. Well, one of your streams. One of his streams just got demonetized the other day. Was he above approach then? Jesus Christ.
Covering. Whenever I cover
That's
a new hot
crazy.
game and I have a review or something to talk about it, I get good attention, engagement, and support on it. I get people who come by and really appreciate the fact that I'm still honest about stuff all these years later. And I am not beholden to any sponsors. I am not beholden to any companies or any streaming service or anything. I can say and do whatever I want. I'm good.
So yeah, it is. It's a cult. It's 100%. This is a cult, right?
Jesus.
Cults, actual cults, and people actually supporting them financially and stuff like that's nuts. That's crazy.
I am in the best position I have been in many, many years. Everything has gotten so much better for me over these last 3 years. I love it. Everything has improved dramatically. I'm no longer nervous day to day about, oh my God, how am I going to afford this? How am I going to make do with this? You know, it's all.
And yet when he doesn't get when he's not getting any contributions, he's stressed the fuck out. And then when the quote unquote anonymous tip comes in, then he's completely relaxed. We're still failing at games, good, bad, or otherwise. But when there is no money on the table, and then all of a sudden the infusion, the dopamine hit, if you will, comes through, we're a completely separate person. Or a completely separate actually does work out, but a completely different person. Imagine that.
Good. My life is great. So where's the downfall? Where?
And if your life was so great, then why are you giving any of this shit life? Why don't you just outright ignore the shit? Why do you have to chase down every little thing that happens? Because his ego too damn big. That's why. And he needs to know what people are saying about him. It's a compulsion.
Even the things you can say, well, you and, your addictions to this and that, there's no addictions.
Phil's blowing his money on DoorDash. Phil's blowing his money on mobile games. Phil's blowing his money on gin. That's
All things that are true.
where my money goes every fucking month.
Even if there might have been missteps in the past and
You mean misstep? You mean allegations that weren't true? Like how WWE champions never existed and people like myself made that shit up? Now they're missteps. Okay, that's a choice. Choose your own adventure.
might have been problems that I had. They're all gone. They're all fixed. I'm not playing mobile games and spending money on them anymore.
That's literally a lie, and you basically told us that when you were playing WWE Champions on stream, saying, I have my own personal account, but that's nobody's business. Yet you have no proof that you're the original WWE Champion account that was found on you, that you sold it. And you have no proof that you sold it. And then the other account, that's just off in limbo. So there's at least 2 accounts, if not 3, out there in the woods or out there in the wilderness somewhere. Because remember, when he sold his original account, he said he did start another account, but that's for his personal use, and he doesn't spend nearly as much on it. Womp womp.
I'm not having an unhealthy lifestyle behind the scenes anymore.
You mean all that? Well, Snort already beat me to it, but you talking about all that DoorDash and shit? Eating multiple fucking burgers at once and shit? That's healthy? I saw a picture from must have been like the early 1900s, I guess, where it shows like it was in like a diner or something. It was like in a diner or something, and you got all these people, all fit, all in relatively good shape, working class, and whatnot, sitting down, eating at the counter, and you see these small plates with these small portions, and yet everybody was just cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they had at the time and whatever. This wasn't poverty food. I'm talking about, sandwiches, burgers, the usual stuff that you would find in that type of environment. And, I remember taking a look, So I was looking at some of those portions and be like, man, you better give me 2 plates of that shit. But the point of the person who made this post, I think I saw it on Reddit. They were just trying to demonstrate that, you know, hey, look at the portions that we had or that they had back in their day compared to now. So theoretically, by that notion, you have this numbskull here and his fucking mom wife who are eating literally what would be considered enough food for like 4 people each. And he's saying that he's not living a healthy lifestyle. He's the one who told us just recently that that cat doesn't even want to eat the unhealthy food half the time. And he's the one who takes the hit. And he knows that it's bad food. She knows it's bad food, but he's willing to take the hit either which way. But he's living a healthy lifestyle? This is the same guy who admitted to us that at one time he had a garage full of fast food containers and shit that they were too lazy to throw out. And it was in there for months and they were just constantly adding to it. So how often are you ordering DoorDash that you can't fucking throw that shit out weekly without it cluttering your fucking garage? Makes you think.
Or I've listened to feedback and branched out and did variety of content.
That's when your back was against the wall and you had no choice. So it wasn't a conscious decision. It was something you were forced into.
Just because you can't deal with that and you can't cope with it, so you lie about it, doesn't mean that what I say isn't true. It just means you are miserable. You can't stand the fact that DSP has done the right things to improve his life. And it drives you nuts. So you lie about it constantly. And you make clips over here that are not representative of reality. And you make documentaries over here that say it's the downfall. And you do nonsensical garbage content every day. It doesn't affect me. I'm immune to you. In fact,
And yet you felt the need to respond to this. I don't know if he knows what immune means, but just throwing it out there.
I succeed in spite of you. Do you understand? The fact that every day I'm here still winning, even though you are a loser who has to lie.
Wasn't this the same person who wanted to drag us into court? Just asking.
That says something. In fact, it speaks volumes. So I'm doing great. Where on earth is there a downfall? I'd love to hear it. Like, there's never a justification. It's always the same memes, the same regurgitation of the same bullshit. No one can live with the reality that I'm doing great and you're miserable because I proved you wrong.
Really? But yet, weren't you chasing after, you're still chasing after LTG. It's been a few years. You were harassing Wings of Redemption in the middle of the fucking morning, early morning, and whatnot. But you're doing so damn well, right? Your content's doing so great. So why are you harassing two men who show no interest in wanting to deal with you? What you think?
The distinct choices I've made in the last couple of years, the casino arc, the interview with Asmongold, it was all by design, and it's all.
He's a fucking retard for saying that shit. You're basically admitting that, hey, I use people, I try to fuck over people for my own benefit. I plan to fuck over Kino Casino from Jump Street. I fed them all these lies and all these stories to get their sympathy, to remain in their confidence, knowing that I was going to screw them over. I purposely waste their time every time they try to present me with an idea or an opportunity that would force me to do something, and I told them, no, I can't do it. All by design, all on purpose. That's what makes the Kino Casino arc seem so damn bad. You know what I'm saying? If that's what it's like to have people who you went to, that you went out your way to try to get them to deal with you. You were willing to lie and deceive them and try to rip them off and snipe and basically siphon some of their pay pigs off of them just so you could fuck them over later. And then you're mad why no one else wants to talk to you. You're mad that LTG won't play ball. You're mad that Wings won't sit there and let you do what's best for him when you can't even do what's best for your wife. You can't even do what's best for yourself. You don't even know. You don't even know. That's crazy.
Worked out very strategically well for me and my family and my business, and I'm doing good. And if you can't understand that and or accept it, you're a miserable wretch who should seek help. Because if you're actually upset that DSP is doing good, that means more about you and says more about your own mindset than anything that I've ever done.
Really? But yet you've admitted that you've done that to other people. You still do that to other people. that you get mad that they're doing better than you, they got better opportunities. I'm sure that Mike Watson thing is pissing you the fuck off. So you want to sit there and condemn people for exhibiting a type of behavior that you yourself still exhibit to this very day. Make it make sense. Cope sip.
Oh my God, he's drinking wheelchair donations.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just received 50 legitimate memberships.
All right, wanted that there. Big ups to SnortBucks. Holy shit. Holy shit. What a sick little person you are. Absolutely fucking disgusting. I'll leave the link to this video down in the description. Big ups to SnortBucks. Jesus Christ. That was tough. That was really, really tough. Matter of fact, give me just a second before we leave and go back to our regularly scheduled. There's something I want to look up really quickly. Give me just a second. Okay, before we leave, I want to bring you guys in on something. Okay, I want to bring you guys in on something. This is Wings. We're on a Lummox video, so big ups to Lummox and whatnot. This is Wings talking about DSP's e-begging and how he says some wild ass shit about how sucking dick is more moral than e-begging. I really wasn't expecting I wasn't expecting to throw this in there, but fuck it. Big ups to Lummox and whatnot. Let's get it. Oh my God, let's get it. Here we go. Like fucking here we. I'll leave the link to this down in the description too. Wings of Redemption talks about DSP's e-begging, Panda, and the banana song. But we're only gonna watch this part right here. All right, here we go.
Does well donation wise. It's because it's so fast paced I can never talk to chat.
You gotta bet, like, in between games, you just gotta bet, because that's what DSP did, and I saw it worked.
Well, DSP makes $100,000 a year. He literally almost triples my income.
I don't know if I believe that, because he's been talking about him making only 30,000 plus a year since 2017. Like, if you're not improving your income year after year after year, that's a major problem. So you might want to rethink that one, pimp.
But I don't want to sit here and e-beg. Like, I hate that.
No,
I hate it.
But do you know why, bro?
Because he e-begs.
You know why? Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that. I'd much rather make less money and keep a little bit of my dignity.
Moral compass, bro. You said you suck a dick for $10,000, but you won't eat it.
Yeah, sucking a dick's more moral. Can I get a pimp? Thank you, H-Time.
It's moral to suck dick for $10,000 than e-beg online, which is something that you do not only on your own platform, but you did it on Lolcow Live as well. Okay, that's different.
Hey, sucking a dick is
Wings is gay, bro.
I am not gay.
Makes everyone happy, bro. That makes a couple people happy in the situation. Wings and the other guy.
Nah.
I'm just playing.
Are you fucking with me like that, son? You know how some motherfucker top his mom when the rimps do. You know how some motherfucker top his mom when the rimps do. You know how some motherfucker top his mom when the rimps do. Shit. Sell that pussy, player.
What the fuck?
It's like this motherfucker. I hate him. I hate him.
So I'll bring the whole thing back, but one can make the argument that he's willing to suck some dick to pay rent, or he willing to have Kelly sell her box to make sure food stay on the table. That's just what I'm hearing. That's what it sounds like. Oh boy, that's holy fuck! I haven't heard. OnlyFans chicks don't even really talk like that, but that's all right, pimp. Okay. So, all right, fair enough. So if Keem ever says that a hole's a hole, I guess he'll be calling you. Well, he'll call Boogie first. Then he'll call Desi. Then he'll call you. Okay, well, I guess you're at least third on the pecking order, I suppose. Jesus Christ.
Black Ops 7 is what breaks the wall, bro.
Again, like Call of Duty always did well view. It never does well donation wise. It's because it's so fast paced. I can never talk to chat.
These lol counts are wild.
You gotta bet, like, in between games, you just gotta bet, because that's what DSP did, and I saw it worked.
Well, DSP makes $100,000 a year. He literally almost triples my income. But I don't want to sit here and e-beg. Like, I hate that.
No,
I hate it.
But do you know why, bro?
Because he e-begs.
You know why? Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that. I'd much rather make less money and keep a little bit of my dignity.
Moral compass, bro. You said you suck a dick for $10,000, but you won't use it.
Yeah, sucking a dick's more moral. Can I get a pimp? Thank you, H-Town.
Jesus
Hey, sucking a
Christ.
dick is
Wings is gay, bro.
I am not gay.
Makes everyone happy, bro. That makes a couple people happy in the situation. Wings and the other guy.
Nah.
I'm just playing.
Why you fucking with me like that, son? You know, some motherfucker top his mom when the rimps do. You know, some motherfucker top his mom when the rimps do. You know, some motherfucker top his mom when the rimps do.
That's that high school dropout really showing its colors, boy. Gotta tell you, Jesus, Wings.
Shit, sell that pussy, player.
What the fuck?
It's like this motherfucker. I hate him. I hate him.
Wings is a sexy
Big Rob.
got an operator in BO7. Hope all my enemies do it so I can big ass hitbox.
Once again, guys, I'm asking for contributions for the King's tax. Just to list off a couple bills I have. I have bills. They bill me for billing me. I have to pay for the paper for the bills that come on. I got internet bills. I got water bills. I got breathing bills. I got air bills. I got gate bills.
Thank you for being here.
There's nothing I can do.
Ow, the fuck! There's like two.
All right, that's good enough. Shit, that's good enough. That's oh boy. Okay, well there you go on. There you go. There you go on that. I'll say a little cow has a price, so it is what it is, I suppose. Jesus, that's a choice. That's a choice. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do this real fast. Okay, we're good. I think we're all straight. So there you go. That's what damn, I almost forgot what the actual point of this video was. Okay, so that's DSP's giving his response to the Turkey Tom thing. There's something a bit more extensive. I'll turn that into a whole separate video. I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a sneak peek of what I'm thinking about at the moment. And then the bonus of Wings saying sucking some dick instead of begging is moral. Whatever the fuck that means. So anyway, yeah, I'm stunned. Absolutely fucking stunned. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in and whatnot. This has been, I'll name the segment later, GTG Spits That Grease. Roasted cutlets, cat style. I appreciate everybody who has laid down a recommendation, choosing to sponsor the show. If you guys have any recommendations, by all means, please leave it down in the description or in the comment section. Sorry. Yikes, bruh. Yikes. And take care of yourselves, people. I'll catch you on the next one of these. Later, people. Oh, man, bro. These little cows are out here crazy. It's got me out here dying. Wild.